They say evil leaves scars deeper than time can heal. And on a quiet Texas road in 1998, hatred showed its face in the most brutal way imaginable. If you're here, pause for just a second, hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to hear isn't just another story. It's a reminder of how far hate can go when it's allowed to grow unchecked. This is the story of James Byrd Jr., a man whose life ended in one of the most horrific hate crimes America has ever seen. James was a 49-year-old black man, soft-spoken, a father of 3, and well-known in his Jasper, Texas community. He didn't live a glamorous life. He didn't have much money, but he had a warm laugh, an easy smile, and he treated everyone with kindness. What he didn't know, though, was that on the night of June 7, 1998, he would cross paths with men who saw his very existence as something to destroy. That night, James accepted a ride home from 3 white men: John William King, Lawrence Russell Brewer, and Sean Allen Berry. They weren't just ordinary men, they were filled with racism and hate. King in particular was a known white supremacist, covered in prison tattoos that spoke to his ideology. To them, James wasn't a neighbor. He was just a target. But James didn't know that. He got into the pickup truck, probably thinking it was a simple ride home. Instead, it became the beginning of a nightmare. The men didn't drive him home. They took him to a remote dirt road. There, they beat him mercilessly, kicking, punching, and humiliating him. Then came the unthinkable. They chained James by the ankles to the back of their truck and dragged him for nearly 3 miles along the asphalt. Every turn of the wheels tore away at his body. Every bump in the road ripped deeper into his flesh. And through it all, the men laughed and kept driving. By the time it was over, James Byrd Jr. was dead. The brutality was beyond comprehension. His body was torn apart by the road, left in pieces as if he was nothing more than debris. The men finally dumped what was left of him near a black cemetery, a final insult meant to mock him even in death. News of the crime spread like wildfire. The town of Jasper was shaken to its core. National media descended, describing the murder as one of the most gruesome racially motivated killings since the civil rights era. And it sparked outrage far beyond Texas. People asked, how could something so barbaric still happen in modern America? The FBI was called in. The suspects were quickly arrested. Evidence tied them to the crime: chains, blood, and even their own admissions. The nation demanded justice. In the aftermath, this case forced America to confront the lingering reality of racism and hate groups. Out of the horror came change. In 2009, the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act was signed into law, expanding federal hate crime legislation. James's death had forced the government to act. But laws can't erase pain. His family never got him back. His children grew up without their father. His community had to live with the scars of knowing one of their own was brutally murdered simply because of the color of his skin. And here's the truth. The story of James Byrd Jr. is not just history. Hate crimes are still happening today. Racism hasn't vanished. It's simply found new ways to hide. That's why stories like this matter. That's why we tell them. Because forgetting means letting hate win again. So if you believe stories like this should never be forgotten, if you believe James's life mattered, then subscribe to this channel right now. Because we will keep uncovering the stories that others try to bury. Because silence only protects the killers, but telling the truth, that honors the victims.